So I'm down here at Woolwich for the first time, and actually on Mercator for the first time. And David's going to tell us what the guys here have been up to so far.
Well, basically we've been fixing a buggered boat.
Really?
To put it in
it doesn't look buggered.
In Aussie speak, no, it doesn't now.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It looks fantastic.
It does look quite good.
We had a serious amount of rot above decks, to the point that a lot of the superstructure has been rebuilt from both sides, port and starboard.
Yep.
We're now currently putting the glass back in, so it's all been done, and we're on that stage now of gluing and finishing and painting and all those
smell
things.
The varnish on board. Yeah,
absolutely. And the guys are all getting kind of excited because we're seeing, we can see the end. Because there's been a time when we started the project, to be honest, we thought, oh,
what have I done?
This is one of Pesky's dreams that's, not going to work.
Like dragging yourself up a mountain?
Yeah, that type of thing, really, I mean...
Well, I'm pretty impressed because I saw her when she first arrived, and I thought... and to see her now...
Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, we won't say that on video, but it's absolutely amazing. So you said you had to redo the whole...
all
the
this
coach house and that sort of thing?
This is what we call superstructure. So anything that's above the deck is deemed to be superstructure, okay? And the superstructure on both sides was rotten, absolutely rotten through.
That's a huge job.
So the deck itself on the cabin top was fine, but the sides had water and been laying in fresh water. And the spores of the rain comes in with spores, and that's what causes the rot. Okay, and so there was nothing to it but to take it out. We messed about with it for a little while, trying to compromise, but we got to that stage and we said no, it's out. So we cut it all out. It was a really good decision because once we'd done that, the way was clear, and we just went charging straight ahead. We've also had the boat out of the water, and we've epoxied the bottom from the water line down. So we've sealed the bottom of the boat now, so there's no more water inside. So she's a dry hull inside, which is really good for our maintenance perspective because we won't have to go spending lots and lots of money. We had to cut out planks. There were rotten planks below the water line. So we had to take those out and replace those, and we've refastened the whole boat. Completely tightened her up. So what that means is that a wooden boat has screws that hold the planks in place, and the corking goes in between the screws, and that's the way that works. So what you do to check all your fastenings, you go around and tighten all your fastenings.
Every single one?
Every single
Did
fastening.
Someone count how many there are on this boat?
I don't know. Well, I do know because we replaced about 650 fastenings. Now, and that was probably about a quarter of the fastenings on the boat. So, and so we found rotten frames and rotten planks. So they all had to be removed. The frames had to have sister frames put in alongside them. That was all done some time ago when the boat was out on the hard. Now she's been floating. She's dry. She's tight as.
Wonderful.
So we're really, really happy. I mean, that's a great load off.
It's huge, yeah.
We're now working on Jack's now doing the glass on the top sides and the windows. We've got a team working in the main cabin, which we'll go and have a look at in a little while. And we've completely, originally the boat had two heads, one in the master cabin aft and one forward in the main cabin. We've taken out the after cabin head and converted that whole space now to give us more bunks, more accommodation, and using just the one head. Because it was set up more of a luxury motor sailor before, and now it's going to be a training vessel for us. So we needed the space for beds. So we've done that, and as you saw today, we picked up the stuff from Dennis's factory that he's donated his time and completely built the rear cabin for us. So we'll have 4 bunks where there was 2. There'll be 4 bunks in the aft cabin. Where we had 2 bunks in the main saloon, we'll now have 4 again.
Yeah.
And where we had 2 in the forecastle up in the forepeak, we now have got an additional third. Another thing. So we now have 3 bunks up there. So we've increased our accommodation for a training. So you know the boat can go up to Pittwater or somewhere, and the kids can stay on board. Yeah. And we can have a training team on board and probably run about 6 or 7 students on board, and with say 2 or 3 trainers.
Fantastic! So it's a big change.
It is a big change, mate. Yeah, it really is a big change.
So you mentioned Dennis donating his time. You've had lots of people helping out.
We've had a magnificent turnout with volunteers. People that come out. I was just talking to before about the little team of people, the squirrels that live downstairs.
Yep.
They come in and out all the time.
Looks quiet up here, but I can see heads moving down there.
Yep.
We'll go have a look later what they're up to.
Yeah.
I can see someone over there too.
Yeah. That's one of our volunteers. I'll introduce you.
I'll have to come chat to you later.
Yeah, we'll come and talk to you in a minute. Just one sec. Okay. And the next big task is to what we call close the boat up, which is what Jack's working on now. Yep. Jack's been the master shipwright on the job, and showing us all how to do things and well, basically how to do things. Yeah. We've had to rebuild the mast. Both the masts were in pretty bad condition. The main mast was actually rotting through. You have some pretty fantastic photos of that. So yeah, we had to scarf it out and build. Now it's finished. Yeah. And the chain plates are going on and the shroud cap's going on. All the boat, the rig is now going back together. So we're expecting to step probably in the next month.
Exciting times.
That'll be a very big day. Everyone's invited. Everyone's invited to the stepping of the mast. Yeah. And we'll hope it's not too embarrassing. Hope we've got all the figures right on the thing.
We'll get that on camera.
It's quite a trick to get get all those right, because all the wire
on board is just incredible.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah. I'm really proud of what the guys have done. Yeah. Super. Everyone's putting in, going that extra bit, the extra yard. Which is great. So, and I think the sales are good. We've just checked out, had the sales out a little often. Gone through them, so they're in pretty good condition. So we're looking, the engines. We're doing some work on the engine. We've had to replace some of the engine mounts, which we're in the middle of doing. One's done, another one to do. Our water systems are good, coming back online. The lue's working. The head is all operational, so we're ready. Give or take. And you never know with this kind of thing. What's around the corner. But as we can see it at this point, I'm feeling pretty optimistic that we'll be tied up in Hobart town and having a scallop pie. I think
exciting times.
The guys, well, I mean,
they've earned it.
Well, the really good thing is we started with 8 guys in the program. Yeah. And of which we now have 4 of them with apprenticeships. Wow. So in what was it, February of this year, we had 8 guys that were having a bit of trouble with life. 4 of those guys now have got apprenticeships. Fantastic. Which is just amazing, or trainee apprenticeships. 2 of them have gone on to further study, and another 2 guys have just got their deckhands license, so they'll be moving out into the marine world to work as deckhands on boats around Sydney Harbour.
That's incredible.
So it's 100%. Well, so far, touch wood.
It's plenty of wood around. Plenty of strong wood around.
Yeah. We're banging 100%.
It's been going well.
Right. Yeah. So we're really. I mean, that was what it was about. It's really about giving kids the opportunity to get into work and to feel optimistic and feel that they have a place. Yeah. And we're pretty pleased. Successful. That hole down there, by the way, just down here, that's the mast. Oh. That's where the mast goes. Of course. So. Very precise. Yep, it's very precise actually. Yeah, we've got to get that right. See, they're the chain plates over here. Oh, yep. And the distance between that hole and that bottom of the mast and the top of the mast has to be within about 5 millimetres. And when you rebuild a mast that was rotten, and you're not really sure about how long the mast was,
yeah.
you're kind of
Could be interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think we might have a little practice run with that one.
And then invite me along.
And
yeah.
then we invite everybody along. Once we know we got it right. But we'll have the big day.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the locker. And there you can see
Fantastic.
it's
And the smell.
You can see the smell, yeah. And the big timbers. It smells like a ship, doesn't it?
Yeah,
You know, it smells like an old sailing ship, and that's what it is, yeah. You get an idea of the keelson and the perspective of things, how big they are.
Yeah.
They're pretty massive. And the boat weighs about 30 tons.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at these 4.5 stringers.
That's
and the
huge.
ribs going through. See ribs sent on centre.
Yeah. Compared to the weight of a fiberglass boat.
It's kind of interesting when you think that, you know, it was only in sort of in mid of the last century that we were building boats like this. They were all boats were built like this, you know, and it's been from there now to carbon fibre, planing hulls and up onto foils.
Yeah.
It's just, technology's just raging ahead. But
there's something special about the old style
there is. I've got to tell you, I've fallen in love with her. She's
awesome.
yeah, she is. I mean, I get to sail on some pretty fantastic boats.
Yep.
And she's reached out to me, this girl.
She has character.
Yeah, well, she's a classic too. She's a Herreshoff.
Yeah.
So, you know, he doesn't draw bad boats. Or when she's up on the hard, you just look at her lines and she's beautiful. You know? And so...
Fantastic.
This is all obviously a storage space. It needs a vacuum down in there, I can see.
Yep.
So we'll get the boys on that. And,
someone has a lucky job.
Yeah, cleaning.
Yeah.
We can probably build a bit more shelving. Storage is always a problem on a boat. You've got to grab every inch.
Yeah.
Because you're going to need the storage space.
Yeah.
Okay, because you can see how this locker's made. Quite often, this boat, the front of this will be underwater.
Oh, yeah.
When she drops down into a wave.
Yeah. Must be well sealed.
Just pull that rope out. Thank you. So, there'll be water rushing around.
Oh, amazing.
That's the anchor winch.
Yeah.
Yep. That was actually, the motor that drives that was actually the engine out of a Canberra bomber.
Oh.
That opened the bomb bays.
That's a bit of history.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's quite amazing. We haven't used it yet. We don't know whether it works. We've got another big mule pedestal winch there.
Oh yeah.
See, the main saloon's been changed. This is all an addition. We built this in.
Yeah.
To give ourselves a bit more, so we get another bunk up in here, across through there.
Very good.
Okay, and we'll get a shelf across there with more space.
Yep.
All right, and we've changed the electrics. There's a completely new electric switchboard.
Wow.
There was massive. The boat was very set up originally for long range cruising.
Yep.
It had 24 volts, 12 volts, 240 volts, and the American 110 volt system.
So you pretty much have
4
wires
electrical
everywhere.
systems in the boat. We've rationalised that and we're down to 12 volt system. So we've stripped everything out. We've just brought it back to a simple 12 volt system. We've taken out the Onan, and if anybody out there wants to buy an Onan, we have a brand new Onan for sale.
Right.
And complete rationalisation of the battery, what we call house power over engine start batteries, which is very similar, identical to our other boats.
Yep.
So that somebody coming on here will look at the system and it'll be pretty much the same as any other SWD boat.
That's great.
So we're sort of trying to keep everything uniformed in that sense. Okay, so there'll be a bunk here, as you can see, and then another bunk will come across the top here, and they're pull-outs. So they'll come in, so you get one bunk there, one sailor there, one sailor here, one sailor there, one sailor there.
Yep.
Okay, and
This
then...
looks nice in here.
Pardon?
That looks nice in here.
Yeah, well this is the saloon.
Wow.
And this is the forepeak, or the front cabin. And we've got a double berth on the port side and a single on starboard.
Yeah.
They're a bit squeezed. The port one's a bit cuddly, so that's got to be a pretty good friend on that side. And all this has been revarnished and been sanded and prepped, ready for varnishing.
Yeah.
So the boys will be starting in there shortly.
Amazing.
Yeah, and the head is the head was quite complicated before.
Yeah.
We simplified that down. The hot water service is staying.
Good.
Probably not going to commission it until after we come back from Hobart, but so it'll be a bucket of water out the back, the same as mariners, seamen have been doing since Sinbad went to sea.
That's good.
But when we get back, we'll commission that, and we'll be able to have a hot shower and stuff.
Luxury.
Yeah, we haven't got any other boats. So
yeah, exactly right.
Cool. So the head's out, and that was a electric head, and we're taking that out and putting a manual pump out. Pumping system in there.
Yeah. It looks like you're going to have a door on the head as well.
Yeah, there's a door, which is
luxury.
unusual. There's a bit of privacy. Yeah. A bit like the open plan on the other boats. Well, something to be said for open plan.
Yeah.
But,
leave your shame on the dock, right?
Yeah, as long as you hang the little sign on the door, say on the space, say, I'm here, is occupied. Please treat with the appropriate discretion. And behind you is a galley full of stuff, sinks, and the cooker goes over there.
Fantastic.
Boys, it looks like they've been doing some painting and all here. This is looking really smart.
Yeah.
Quite good. And it smells great. I mean, I know it smells like paint at the moment.
No, but it has a nice feeling to it.
It smelled a rock when we came.
That's not
that
good.
rotten, horrible smell.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't. And
It smells like progress.
And it's owned and it's loved now, which is really good.
Yeah.
And we need, and the other thing I've got to say, while we're doing this, we need, this is the beginning of the plan. This is the beginning of the Wright of Passage program.
Yeah.
And we need help and support. We need volunteers, and we need any support that anybody can give us, in short. Because a lot of kids out there, like these last 8 kids, and they're putting their hand up and asking for help, and what are we going to say?
That's it.
We're going to say no?
Yeah, don't want to? No. Yes, we want them all.
So, help us do it and we'll do it.
Yeah.
So if you look down through the back hole there, you can see that's the back cabin.
Yeah.
Probably going to light up for you on the camera. And in here on where we're standing on the centre of the bay is obviously the engine bay.
Oh yeah.
Which goes from here right through. Quite a big motor.
Quite big, yeah.
It is a big motor. It's a very good motor. It's got a Cummins engine in it, and it's pretty good. This is a fuel tank over here.
Yeah.
Another fuel tank on the starboard side.
Yeah. Were they in good condition, or did you have to get new ones?
The starboard one's in very good condition. The port one we're not so sure about. So for the purpose of this exercise, we'll probably isolate the port one until we've done some further investigation.
Yeah.
I think it is okay. We sampled some diesel out of it the other day and had it analysed, and it came up quite well.
Good.
So, but I'm just not 100% confident with it. So we'll just use the starboard tank to get to Hobart, and which probably means we'll do a bit of coastal hopping. Yeah. To fuel up again. So maybe down to Eden and fuel, and then cross Bass Strait and so on.
Right.
Yep.
See more things. So down here we have Peter, who looks like he's working very hard, doing some painting. So Peter, what's been your role so far in this Wright of Passage?
This is the first day I've done any painting. I've been doing some woodwork in the previous weeks, and I also helped pull all the sails out and have a look at the condition of the sails, and they all turned out to be pretty good bar
good.
one, which we sent to the sailmaker. We thought we might have had to send more, but
Yeah.
very good condition.
That's
really.
good news.
Yeah, yeah.
Saves on the budget, right?
absolutely.
It keeps the treasurer happy. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So mostly in the winter time I couldn't come down. I was away and different things
Yeah.
working, but be
You
back
give
for a
what
few
you
weeks.
can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did some before the winter time as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Very good. Yeah, it's nice to see a good number of volunteers here doing something different to our
Yeah,
other
yeah.
sailing programs, a different program but still just as important. And
it's
successful
quite a few
so
different
far.
ones, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fantastic. It'll be nice to see her all in her glory
Oh, it will be.
soon. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to that.
Excellent. All right, I'll let you get back to work. You're doing a great job.
Very good.